qualified actuary, Braudo previously held the position of Managing Director at Investment Solutions. This is Captains of Industry. Stephen, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Let's start with what you do on a day-to-day basis as CEO of Liberty Life. If you can give us a glimpse of your day.
Sure. Bronwyn, I think I'm very blessed in that each day is very different. So typically, a typical day for me will be to firstly meet with my direct reports, understand what's happening in the business. So that includes our sales plans, our distribution areas, our customer management areas, our servicing teams. I also make a point at least once a week to meet with somebody in the field, either an independent advisor or one of our tied advisors. I think it's quite important that we stay close and relevant to our customers, so to understand the issues that are taking place. Recently we just released our results, so it's been a lot of meetings with our finance and actuarial teams and understanding our figures and going through the numbers in a lot of detail. And also following up to make sure that our strategic goals are being met and that we're on track in terms of the plan that we set, in terms of our budgets, and that pretty much fills the day.
Well, let's focus on the life business and the fact that it is a competitive arena. It's also been impacted by changing regulations. The biggest headache that you're facing at the moment, is it competitors gaining market share, the likes of a Discovery Life?
I wouldn't say that it's typically limited to one competitor. I think that there's a couple of issues happening industry-wide. Firstly, I think it's been well publicized. Persistency is an issue across the industry. So that means retaining customers that are already with us. So if we look at our business, we provide long-term benefits to our customers. We're there when people die, we're there for their retirement, we're there if they're disabled. We play a major role in terms of what we do from a societal impact. And given the tough economic times which have happened over the last 2 years, given the global economic crisis, the high level of job losses, the stress that the consumer's been under, people lapsing or cashing in policies or making them paid up, that means not continuing with future premiums, has gone up. So that's been a major challenge that I think the entire industry has had to face.
And what solutions have you devised to impact the persistency problems positively?
At Liberty, we picked this up quite early, and what we actually did, we mobilized rapidly and we set up a customer retention unit where it's a mix of skills. It's actuarial people, it's engineers, it's accountants, it's professional people, as well as a lot of people with operational expertise. We set up a team, we mobilized 170 people in literally a few months to deal with this issue. So it's contacting our clients. When a client wants to leave Liberty, understand the reasons. Why do you want to leave? Don't surrender your policy in a time of economic hardship. Because, God forbid, something happens to you. This is the time you want your cover in place, because you can lose your job, and then something happens and your family hasn't got the cover, you don't have income protection, you don't have disability protection. So we've changed a lot in the business. For example, that team that I mentioned introduced premium flexibility on our products. So if you couldn't afford it, you could cut your premium down but maintain the cover.
And are these solutions starting to take a hold?
Oh, definitely, definitely. So when we announced our results, our persistency levels have stabilized. There was a big decline about a year or so ago, 6 to 12 months ago, and already the early signs are still early days, but the positive signs are there. So it's product flexibility, it's giving clients more options, and at the end of the day, making sure every single experience they have with our company is a pleasant one. It must be a fantastic experience to deal with.
Persistency or client retention is obviously dependent on the economic environment, and if we do see this recovery gaining further traction, then perhaps the persistency problems will subside. Would that be a fair assumption?
I think that's part of it, but you spoke about competitive pressures. I mean, the competition's always there. We compete aggressively with all the other players in the South African market space, and I think as the economy recovers, so the competition intensifies once again. So customer retention is one part of it, but clearly increasing our market share, developing new products, being innovative, looking for niche areas, looking for new markets is something that we continue to focus on.
How do you keep your finger on the competitive pulse? Do you sit around the table and survey what your competitors are doing on a day-to-day basis and then try and get ahead in the innovation game?
Yeah, I think we do a few things. We watch our competitors closely, we look at their products. You get a lot of feedback from the field. You get a lot of feedback from particularly independent advisors, what's new, what others are doing, on a range of issues, not just products, but also on servicing and operational issues. So that's why we like to stay very close to what's happening on the customer side. And clearly looking at their reports, looking at their data. There's a lot of industry statistics, so we do discuss that quite regularly, and it's important to know.
What are the independent brokers saying at the moment? Who is your biggest competition out there?
It varies, certainly. I mean, again, I prefer to focus on Liberty rather than others, but all the major life assurers have particular areas and particular customer bases, particular segments where they're strong in. So we have to do the same in our business, make sure we've segmented our customer base well, make sure the product is relevant, and I'm happy to say the feedback on Liberty is very good.